Presented by Capital One. As the sun sets here in Clemson, South Carolina, we get set to punch the ticket to the regional final. Last elimination game of the day, and it's Kentucky and Northwestern in a rematch of what we saw yesterday when Lauren Boyd and company were able to get past the Wildcats 4-0, though it's going to be a different story today potentially because Lauren Boyd is going from behind the plate where she did an outstanding job to third base. One hopper over to short, ties up Avesado, but in plenty of time to get Blum for out number one.
They know this is going to be a challenge, and all their energy has to be focused here on the field, especially, and they've got to have a short memory from that.
Bunted right back, and there is Grudzalonic handling the bunt from Maddie Clark, the Oregon State transfer for 18 years. Molly Belcher now 15, and they brought in Grace Ballman to be the pitching coach, who was so good. Went up in the zone, Grudzalonic challenged Plotz, and she got her just the second time all weekend. And four straight outside the zone. That's how you started off for Northwestern.
Anito's been a great leadoff for Northwestern.
But Wildcats bats could not get going against Boyd. And the 2-1 is sky high to shallow right center. Donaldson calls off Plotz, and there's the first out.
You mentioned all the arms we've seen from
power threat in this Northwestern team. Got her on 3-2, throw to second, nobody's covering. Nito thought about third, wisely held up. Good backup by Donaldson. 2-2. To left center, sneaking away, past the diving Donaldson. Nito scores easily. Robinson dives into third. Northwestern strikes first in this elimination game in Clemson.
And Kansas Robinson fell behind early in this at-bat, worked it back to a 2-2 count, and this ball, the spin on it from inside outing, it just kept tailing away from Donaldson in center field. She had a great beat on it, but it kept spinning and going away from her. Kansas Robinson with another RBI and a triple. And we've seen great defense all weekend, limited walks, not much given away, but here, Northwestern takes advantage.
1-1 shallow center. Donaldson, this one a little bit easier for her as she squeezes it to finish off the bottom of the first. RBI triple by Kansas Robinson. Pitching staff in a lot of ways, and now it's much, much deeper this year. That's a 4-pitch walk. So Hallie Mitchell is on, and just as Northwestern did. Mitchell, kind of a do-it-all type player. We've seen her behind the plate a lot, but she's also an excellent left fielder. There she goes, throw to second, not nearly in time. You know, and one of the reasons they've had Carissa Hamilton NCAA Control Center. So instead of a stolen base for Hallie Mitchell.
Coach Strohan.
Yeah, well done. Dirt burner over to Nito in time to get Borzilleri. You know, I would have to think, though, that that's a tense moment for whoever.
Missing there, but I love the 3-0 green light, especially elimination game. Pitchers struggling in the circles, they're going to pipe it.
And there's ball 4.
You gotta love playing big games under the lights.
Still a pretty good crowd here at McWhorter Stadium, despite Clemson playing again tomorrow. Back-to-back walks. And this has to be maybe with Northwestern on the lineup, though, with an 11-run outburst. And Emmert rips it into left center field. That's going to tie the game. Hutchins into third, standing up. Got to get it from everyone in an elimination contest.
Taking advantage of a couple walks here is Emmert. Runners on base. She drives this pitch on the outside part of the plate to the left center gap, and enough for Reisner to come around to score.
Final for the first time in 8 years. And there's ball 4. Base is loaded now for Allie Blum.
Feeds. And really feed that defense.
1-0 rip down the left field line, off the wall. 2-run score, and into third, Donaldson. 2-run double from the future of the Kentucky program, Allie Blum.
And she didn't waste any time welcoming Cunningham into this game. Just the second pitch from Cunningham, Blum gets all of it, and it is a shot off of the wall and left field. I think she hit it so hard that Donaldson not able to score from first, but 2 runs across for Kentucky, which they were not able to get a single run across.
He did on that 3-run home run, except that one, the launch angle was a little bit higher. Got almost over the foul pole, and there's another one for Maddie Clark. 1 run in the second, scores as well. Allie Blum in ahead of the tag. It's a 2-run knock for Maddie Clark. Kentucky's on fire, and they lead it 5-1.
Out, and right here, she beats the shift, and then look, hands up, Christina Himes say, no, no, no. Blum says, nah, I got this one.
It's the info. Well, they did, and they got punished into center field. Here's the throw home, not in time. Clark scores. The throw goes into the outfield as Plot's heading to third, and she's in there. The Cats roaring here in Clemson.
Started off with a couple walks. And then Peyton Plotz doing what Peyton Plotz does and getting hits with runners on base, and then Northwestern just starts throwing the ball around afterwards, and she ends up on third base.
It skirts past Zaborski. Plotz scores standing up. Don't let Kentucky get hot, because we've seen it all year long. They can put up runs in a hurry.
This ball, Zaborski just doesn't turn that glove over. I mean, it's this inning. They go to Cunningham, and it seems like she's finding too much of the zone for Kentucky. See Lauren Boyd there.
There's another base hit as it skirts through into right field. Hallie Mitchell has reached both. Four straight outside the zone to Borzilleri. Needed to win that series. They did. One of the last 4 teams in, trying to stay alive here tonight. That 5-3 ground out is going to do it as Cassie Reisner bounces out, but not before pain inflicted by this Kentucky off-tree. And UCLA this year, the number 9 overall seed out in Westwood. That's on the infield. Easy for Clark, 1 away. Game a few days ago. No, never mind, that was this morning. Technically afternoon, felt like morning. Got her. Down looking, Zaborski, the second strikeout victim of Langdon.
There and throw, and what a better situation for her to have to be able to do that with a 6-run lead.
It's really ideal in a lot of ways, but Lindsay unloads on this one to left, and it gets over the head of Blum, and it's a ground rule double. They can string hits together. Bunted up in the air, and there is Borzilleri to take it. Bit of a lack of execution tonight so far for Northwestern. And Lindsay stranded at second. Kentucky up by 6. 3 in 6 innings, so they saved themselves a 7th, and then as that ball is tagged deep center field, Lindsay has no play. Allie Hutchins leaves the yard. You can't cool off the Cats. 6th homer of the game, and they are romping here at Clemson.
This is a 1-2 count, too, and Signe Dose was in control of that at bat. But not until Hutchins takes advantage of this mistake and hits it to the deepest part of the ballpark, and it clears it without a doubt. Leadoff solo shot for the Cats, and those bats have found their way to come into the 3rd inning as well.
From this weekend, but from in Clearwater earlier in the season, as the 2-1s pounded into the ground. Donahue, strong throw across the diamond, gets Emmert. And Kentucky beat Clemson. Again, they're going to go to 3rd to Donahue. And again, she makes a rocket throw across.
The top of this inning, but she has
bounced up the middle, and Allie Plum is really on a heater as she sends one through to center field for a base hit, making her first career loss. This is over to short, and there's Avasado to go to Nito, get the out at 2nd. Talk to Kate Drohan when we come back. Her Northwestern Wildcats trailing. And then was it Arizona that?
Was.
Yep. Arizona got by in their regional too. High fly to center. Donaldson calls everyone off and hauls it in.
Defensively, and you're not going to be able to do that if you're swinging at stuff top of the zone.
Avasado unloads to left field, but Blum makes the catch on the back pedal. Type of schedule that they get to see year in and year out, and then add on to that the non-conference type of games. There's a walk, though, by Langdon as she deals her 2nd base on balls of the game. And there's ball 4, back-to-back walks. Oh, 2 high fly, chases Blum back, plenty of room. She'll make the catch. And we are done in the 3rd. Talking to Rachel Lawson when we come back. Her Wildcats. She's 7 for 9. Gonna be retired here though as Robinson touches up for out number 1.
And Cunningham be able to get little applesauce pouches. My 3-year-old loves those.
Are those? Oh my goodness. Down the left field line, hauled in. Nice play over there by Avasado. Playing softball since 1:30, so it's been over 7 hours. Avasado doesn't have a play. That is not the first time this weekend that we've seen her struggle with her plant foot.
It's your job at the heart of this order, getting a ground ball to your shortstop.
Well, looks like she's going to be bailed out, though, by Dose. Yeah, she'll make that catch. Quick inning here for
Northwestern. No harm, no foul.
That's correct. Langdon picks it up and fires to 1st to get Avery Gordon to start off the 4th.
Players.
3-2 is lifted, right field shallow. Plotz has the catch on the run. Basket catch as she hauls it in for out number 2. Second base also came with 2 outs. Lindsay flares it to left, and because Blum was playing in once again, she was able to catch up to that one without much trouble. Tested in the first game of the day, the 1-0 game facing Clemson. Fell 1-0 in 9 innings. Lauren Boyd threw 150 pitches, and the only reason they lost was because of a squeeze back from a game that you so easily could have won and had chances to win. Good sacrifice bunt. Kentucky really playing for that next run. And it goes down. One out Hutchins, the potential 9th run of the game. It's going to be bunted up in the air. Dose touched it, so it's a fair ball. Now 1st and 3rd and 1 out.
And you can't fault the effort here for Signe Dose, going all out, trying to get this ball. I think it probably would have stayed fair regardless, but the fact that she touched it and then plays at the plate, cannot let that run come across.
1-1 is over to 3rd. Nice backhand stop. And what a throw across by Donahue. She's got a cannon that we have seen multiple times tonight.
She really does.
2 outs for Maddie Clark. They're going to throw behind. Almost got Donaldson sleeping after she had so sneakily, in a lot of ways, taken second. Contingent of Kentucky fans standing up over by the visitors' dugout knows how important this run is. And the 1-2 is bounced up the middle. Tough play. Avesado got her just in time. Clark went to a dive, and Avesado gunned her down. Marty Abazishan. So Kentucky loses the challenge, and we'll see if Northwestern can use any of that momentum. We're getting ready for postseason. We're doing this to be ready for postseason. Well, this is it. We're finally here, and everything that these teams are working for is coming to fruition. A very short-lived lead, because then Kentucky played at 7. That hot shot off the bat, and Nito's right into Reisner's glove, 2-away. Into the higher competition level, high pop. On the infield, Reisner, the call, and a catch. Easy peasy there in the 5th, and now 7 in a row retired by Langdon. Where we whittle it down from 16 to 8. To see who goes to the Women's College World Series starting May 29th. First pitch swinging down the line, off balance, throw not in time by Donahue. But just to make that a play, Hutchins down the lineup. That could do some damage. 2-2 is out to center. Lindsay's tracking, makes the play. There's the first out as Plotz heads back to first.
Yeah, it's really been a full
rest of the game because Grudzelanek 1 2/3 gives up 4 runs. Cunningham doesn't get an out, gives up 3, and then Dose comes in. As that play by Donahue was excellent.
She's a highlight reel.
She really is. Stop at all.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be so quick in your reactions.
Oh, why not? That one a little bit easier, but easy and third base don't really go hand in Clemson.
It is a big decision, and after what we've seen this weekend, it's
flown out to left. Donaldson stopped, got all the way past Blum. It's going to be just 2 bases for Kelsey Nader as she's in there.
We're late in the game, down to Northwestern's last 6 outs. It's getting the start earlier today, so Coach Lawson has options, and it's a hard decision because they've all pitched well, and Langdon continuing to do so, climbing the ladder.
This is over to 3rd, couple of looks, and now over to first base. Hutchins throws out Kania for out number 2.
Good
Always
battle.
the best way, though, to catch it after it hits.
Yes.
No, you're right, though. Very good battle here. And it's won by Langdon. Just what Kentucky needed, but an entire staff to get them through a whole year. Payoff is bounced to short. There's Avesado. Maybe by a half step. Got Allie Hutchins.
I think Hutchins got down the line.
Season for a very good reason. 2-2 here on Emmerd. 1 out, nobody on in the 7th. got all of her.
And doing all of that damage with 2 outs in the inning.
Up the middle, could be 2. Avocado Nito, 1 onto first and not in time to get Donaldson speeding. To third, Donahue with a strong arm, but she put that one into the fence. Both runners move up. The first mistake of the game for the terrific defensive third baseman. So 1-2 the count. Pounded in the ground to Avocado. Got to go quick, and they do in time to get Maddie Clark. Last chance coming up for Northwestern.
Had a great outing in game 1, but I think Sydney Langdon.
That's a shot into right center, and Donaldson lets it bounce off the wall. It's going to be a stand-up double to lead things off for MRA.
Yeah, it's back-to-back innings for Northwestern.
You know, and part of the reason that they're the 9 seed that series. Flipped into left field, it dunks in front of Blum. Going to third, not in time. Second, in there as well. Ayanna Lindsay very deftly takes second base. On the payoff, she pops it up. Behind second base, now in front, it's Riesner. And there's an all-important first out.
Get your glove there first, and that's exactly what she did.
3-1 is bounced in the hole. Riesner's gonna go to third, tag down, and they didn't get it there in time. Run scores. Kentucky does not have another challenge. So the only way this is gonna be looked at is if the umpires decide to do it themselves.
After cleaning up third base, is up out. The runner is safe.
Grace Nito. MRA crosses the plate, the second run for Northwestern and the first since the first inning. Lindsay's on third, punched out to right center. Donaldson makes the play on her horse. Lindsay tags and scores, but that is of no concern to Kentucky right now because they've got 2 outs.
This ball was smoked off the bat, and Donaldson in center field coming off the bat took the wrong angle. Was really coming in on that, had to adjust to make it to Sunday.
This could do it. To right field, Plotz has it, and Kentucky moves on to the regional final. They work their way through the elimination bracket, and it is going to be a rematch of what we saw in Clearwater in February. Clemson, Kentucky, ACC versus SEC for a chance to move on to the Supers.
Northwestern put up a fight just to make it to the postseason. A young team led by that young lady, senior Lauren Boyd, who pitched her heart out in game 1 win over Kentucky, and then the just heartbreaker of a loss to Clemson earlier today. Northwestern left it out, all of it out on the field today.
It was an incredible effort by the Wildcats to make it to this point, but today belongs to Kentucky and to Sydney Langdon.